As if we didn't have enough unofficial fanfiction, Marvel had the brilliant idea to make a whole show out of that. The concept is interesting for those who love alternative histories, but like most things, the execution needs to respect the audience as well as to not breach the canon, something which the series doesn't do. Episode 1, What if Captain America was a woman? The result is the exact same plot as the movie, only with a woman. Because Steve Rogers was not chosen to be a super soldier for his special traits, no sir. Anyone could be just as capable as him, including a woman, which happened to be in the room in that specific moment. You don't need any research or approval for that. Let's completely disregard how Falcon and the Winter Soldier were all about pointing out how no one can be exactly like Steve Rogers. And let's pretend nothing changed or that history would play out in the exact same way when a woman whom everyone makes fun of can be just as capable as the man she replaced. Because personalities and gender treatment don't matter one bit. This episode is nothing but a shameless power fantasy for feminists. Episode 2. What if Black Panther was a Star-Lord? The result is a black man who is more awesome and capable than the white man he replaced. When he gets kidnapped as a child, he was not afraid like the white kid, he was excited. When guards chase him, they are amazed by his skin color and bow before him, unlike treating him like dirt as they did with the white guy. When Thanos plans to erase half the people in the universe, the black guy makes him change his mind with a simple chat. He also saved trillions of people across hundreds of planets. This episode is nothing but a shameless power fantasy for black people. Episode 3. What if the Avengers were killed before they could become a team? Nothing. Nick Fury and Captain Marvel would still be enough to kick ass. Why do you need a big team of diverse warriors when a black guy and a woman are more than enough for the job? More shameless power fantasy. Episode 4. Doctor Strange attempts to rewrite history with a time reset that will take away negative consequences and ends up destroying the world. Now that's a good moral message. Not only the hero didn't get replaced by a woman or a black guy, but he also learned how he can't wish his problems away. And then they ruin it with what happens in the finale. Episode 5. What if there was a zombie apocalypse? The only place of all the places in the world which will both not be taken over and be advanced enough to find a cure will be Wakanda, the utopian nation that exists only as a power fantasy for black people. Episode 6. What if Killmonger won? Although he is black and smarter than everyone else, he is a villain who manipulates everyone, including other black people. There are racial themes, but it's not about racism. It's about the horrible things one does for acquiring power. It's a good story that is also ruined by what happens at the finale. Episode 7. What if Thor was a moron surrounded by serious women who put him in his place? I could complain about making men stupid and women too capable again, but it was a comedy story without the stakes of the previous episodes. I can't call it bad for joking about Thor, the same way I cannot say Lego Batman was bad for joking about Batman. So I give it a pass, although it was tonally very off from the rest of the episodes. Episode 8. What if Ultron won? He would make the writers forget that the Infinity Stones don't work in a different universe than the one they originate from. Here we are with the show about Loki knowing that, but not the idiots who wrote this nonsense. And episode 9. What if the Watcher breaks his oath and brings together protagonists from previous episodes so they can defeat Ultron? The answer is a lot of mental gymnastics for excusing why the Watcher chose these people from the millions of other available and far more powerful superheroes. Also, from which episode did he bring Gamora? There never was an episode about her. The writers brought her in from a what-if story we never saw for the sake of having an extra woman in the team. Make that a black woman. And why did the Watcher choose Killmonger when he's a bad guy with no particularly good offensive powers? And what's the big deal with not breaking his oath, when he did exactly that in his first appearance back in the 60s? Also, he ruins the good episodes by undoing their good themes. Doctor Strange destroyed his world by trying to change history, and the Watcher could not intervene. Well, guess what? Now he can intervene, and he sends him to a different universe where nothing negative has happened. Killmonger is about to face retribution for his crimes, but he's whisked away so he can continue his crimes. games. I wonder why he betrayed his team when he never faced punishment and never changed because of it so he can be trusted to join the team. Nice choice, Watcher. As a whole, it was a crappy series that was mostly made for promoting the usual SJW garbage we get everywhere nowadays, and then destroys all sense of seriousness by not allowing negative consequences. So it's basically more vapid modern bullshit.